I used to be a very impatient driver. I would speed in and around town to such a degree that I got a lot of speeding tickets. You know, every journey was a race, and every other car on the road was a competitor. Whenever I was going somewhere, I would diligently plunk in that destination into my GPS, and it would spit out the best route and the estimated time of arrival. And internally, I would think, I can beat that. And so I would drive in a way which tried to drop that time in the most amount as possible. How can I beat this time? That's what the spirit that I would drive throughout the city. And the response of that was, unfortunately, was that I never got to enjoy where I was. Faithfully, spiritually, I never got to enjoy what God might be doing in that moment. You know, there's been studies that have been shown that on average, speeding only saves us roughly about 2 minutes. If you increase your speed, this study showed, if you increase your speed by just 20, by 100 to 120 miles per hour, kilometers per hour, that you actually only save about 30 seconds on your drive. Speeding doesn't actually save us time. But what speeding does is it robs us of the beauty of the moment and the capacity to see possibly what God might be doing. This is why Advent is so important. Because Advent calls us to slow down, and it calls us to enter into a disposition of waiting, of spiritual waiting. Waiting to see what God is doing in our lives. Waiting for God to reveal the full redemption to which we are promised. Now, sometimes what happens in our spiritual lives is we don't see what God has promised in the midst of our world right now. We look at our world and we think, well, this doesn't look like a fully redeemed place. Or we look at our lives and we think, well, I don't feel the full redemption. I don't feel God's love in this moment, or I don't feel the healing that I'm praying for. And so we try to make it happen ourselves. It's like we push forward thinking that somehow it rests upon us. But all that does is make us anxious and frenetic, and it doesn't actually help us. And so Advent calls us to put all that striving down. And instead of reaching forward, to turn our hands upward and wait to receive.